Since the Hamas terror of October 7th and the beginning of Israel's war in Gaza, there has been almost constant high level diplomacy in search of a ceasefire and the release of hostages held by Hamas. Secretary of State Antony Blinken has traveled to the region 9 times since October in pursuit of a deal. It worked once. A deal in November led to a week-long pause in the war and the release of 70 hostages and more than 200 Palestinian prisoners. But every other effort has failed, and each time Israel and Hamas have blamed one another. The main sticking point involves the specifics of a ceasefire. Hamas wants a longer-term stop to the fighting and some guarantee that the war will end. Israel has insisted on the right to resume fighting until Hamas is no longer a threat. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says that in any ceasefire, Israeli troops must patrol Gaza's southern border with Egypt, known as the Philadelphia Corridor, to prevent Hamas from rearming. Hamas has said Israeli troops must withdraw completely from Gaza. Israel says that when tens of thousands of displaced Palestinians begin returning to their homes, Israel must be able to screen them to be sure they're not armed. Hamas demands free movement for Palestinians as they return. Finally, differences remain on the actual Palestinian prisoners to be included in any deal and how many of them. Israel wants veto power over a list. While the negotiators struggle, more than 100 hostages are still believed held in Gaza, though it's not clear how many are alive, and more than 40,000 Palestinian civilians have been killed. Secretary Blinken now says these latest negotiations may be the last hope. If he's right, and if the talks fail, it's not clear how or when the war in Gaza will end. I'm Tom Nagorski for the World Deciphered.